This is my old tent, Naturehike Mongar 2. A great tent, but I have some issues with it, so I bought a new tent, the Nortent Vern 1 3-season. So let's see if this new, very beautiful tent can fix my problems I'm having with my Mongar 2. There's a bit wind here, and it works well in the wind, but I haven't used any guidelines and such, but compared this one to this Vern 1, it's completely different. Completely different. It's so much more stable. But let's first talk about some of the issues I'm having with this tent. What I don't like is this top tent pole here. I have to use a lot of force to put this one over here. And when I do, there's quite a lot of strain on the sheet here. So yeah, I don't like that about this tent. Also, it's a bit difficult to keep this one in place. I have to hold it, keep holding it when going over to the other side to attach it. So it's a bit awkward. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is the vestibule here. It's too small. So when I have my Naturehike Mini here, and maybe I find some rock and stuff to put the Naturehike Mini on so that it keeps it off the ground a bit and a bit away from the vegetation, then the flame gets a bit too close to the tent sheet here. So it makes me a bit worried. That's one thing. And you can see it's all mesh inner. You know, I can be in here and I can still see out if the outer tent was not on there. So that can be quite nice, but when it's a bit colder, since it's all mesh all around here, and you see the outer tent here doesn't go down to the ground, and it's colder and a bit windy, yeah, it's not the best tent. And in Norway, for the most part, even in the summertime, on the mountaintops, it's getting colder. So I think it's not the best for Norwegian conditions. I also don't like these hoops here. You're supposed to attach the tent like this, and it's fine, but it's a little bit fiddly. It's okay, but it's not that great, I think. So this is a nice tent for very nice summer nights and such. But for most situations in Norway, I think it's not actually the best tent you can have. A different issue with this tent is that it pitches inner first. So I have sometimes been a bit worried when it started to rain a bit, and I was worried that the inner tent would get just wet all inside here. Now let's check out the Nortent Vern 1. As I said, it's very, very stable. It feels really stable. So let's have a look inside. Now these are a bit easier to use because of the stretchy thing here. There, and they're done. A lot nicer, I think. You can collect the guidelines with this thing here. So small things that just makes everything easier. So this vestibule is quite a lot bigger. So now with the Naturehike Mini, I won't have any issues or worries about the flame touching the tent. The only mesh is this here. So on half of the door, you have mesh. And of course, the outer sheet goes directly down towards the ground here. So it's going to be a lot warmer. I will be a lot more protected from the wind. You can open this whole thing. And then, very nice, just put it in the pocket. Very easy to do. And there's absolutely enough space here for me and to have the sleeping pad here and have some extra gear here. I have in fact been on a wild camping trip already, just a quick one as you can see, and yeah, it was a lot easier to make food here, had enough space. So Fellman Dave, he mentioned these vents create a bit of a draft when he was sleeping, but I did not experience that. I also just didn't, I just left them there. And I guess the wind was coming from the side and there wasn't that much wind, maybe. It was quite a bit of wind, but not that much. So I could have an issue with it at some point, but for now, I did not experience any issues with these vents. These tent pegs are way too short. They need to be longer because the ground doesn't look like this on a mountain maybe or in the forest. You know, the vegetation is high. Maybe there's a bump and you need to put the tent peg all the way down. Then you pack up your tent, you take all the tent pegs out, and then you're missing one. Trying to find it again, it's just not possible. So they need to be longer. So I was able to straighten the inner tent out a bit. And yeah, I think this tent looks very, very nice. And I was considering the Lie 1. Could even be more practical, a tunnel tent. But this one just looked so good that I bought this one. So what about the quality difference between these two tents? Do I feel from the touch of the material to the zippers that there's a difference in quality? And at least when it comes to the material here, it feels different on the Vern one, but I can't immediately say that this has a higher quality just by feeling the materials, but it's different. Of course the poles here, these are the aluminum poles. We're going to get the DAC poles later. So these are a lot better, of course. So overall, I think the quality is quite a lot higher here, but I can't say that if I go over to the Naturehike tent that I'm thinking, oh, this is just crap. No, I can't say that. This is fine. This one is about 2,000 Norwegian crowns, and this one is 5,600-700 crowns. So it's quite a lot more expensive. I think I will still keep this tent. It has some other benefits. It's a bit bigger inside. It's a two-man tent and the all mesh inner. It can be a nice tent to have. All right, thank you for watching.